back to my channel today for another video. Today I am going to be talking about my children's independent readers that I have chosen for them for the 2025-2026 homeschool year. This will be our 8th year of homeschooling, and it was only last year that I decided to start assigning my children readers. I would usually let them pick what they wanted to read, and then I found out two things. One, they were reading the same books over and over again. And number two, they were choosing books consistently that were way, way below their reading level. And so I did want to challenge them to kind of expand their interests a little bit and to give them a little bit more challenging books to read. And so that's why I started to assign them readers. Now, I get asked often where I get our family read aloud choices and the books that I assign my children, and I get all of them from the Good and the Beautiful book list, so make sure you check that out if you are also looking for good books to share with your family. Now, today I'm going to be talking about my 6th grader, my upcoming 6th grader, and his choices that I have assigned for him next year. Every day we do 20 minutes of reading, and so these are the books that I have assigned for that time. These are not our family read aloud books, but these are their personal readers. So I'm just gonna get started because I have a few things to share with you. Now, the first one is the Scripture Sleuth series. Now, there are 5 of these books. However, I have mysteriously misplaced number 4, and so I'm not really sure where it went, but I will put a picture of the book. I'll show you a picture when I talk about it. So the first one is Concord Cunningham, The Scripture Sleuth. This is a mystery series, and my son really enjoys mystery series, and so that's the first one. The second one is Concord Cunningham Returns, The Scripture Sleuth number 2. Concord Cunningham On the Case, Scripture Sleuth number 3. And then the fourth one, I have it on my phone here, is Concord Cunningham Coast to Coast, the Scripture Sleuth number 4. I don't know where that is, so hopefully I find it by the start of our next school year. And then the 5th one is Concord Cunningham Pursues the Clues, number 5. And so this is about a boy who uses scripture to solve mysteries around his town. So that's going to be very interesting for my son. The next 2 I also got off of the Good and the Beautiful book list. It is a duology, and the first one is called The Wonderful Flight to the Mushroom Planet. Yeah, I don't know, but it looks really interesting, and maybe he'll enjoy it. This is like this will be his first like super legit dive into science fiction, so we'll see if he enjoys it. And then the second book is called Stowaway to the Mushroom Planet. So that's this series. The next one I got as a recommendation from a friend, and so it's just kind of random, but my son is starting to be very interested in military history and military fiction, and so I thought this would kind of really pique that interest. What a Character, America's Famous Spies, Notable Lives from History. This is from Master Books. Here is kind of who is covered in this book. And on the back it does say it is recommended for grades 6 and up. So that's that book, and I think he's really going to enjoy that. Last year, my daughter read the 10 Girls Who series by Lightkeepers, and so I bought the boy version for my son this year, and each book is set up the same. There are 10 men on the front. They're all different. There are no repeats, and so it will tell you the 10 men that they cover in the book on the front, and then as you go through, it's just stories about their lives, and I think that's really cool. So the first one is 10 Boys Who Made a Difference. This is 10 Boys Who Used Their Talents. This is 10 Boys Who Didn't Give In. 10 Boys Who Changed the World. And 10 Boys Who Made History. So there are 5 books in this series, and I think he's really going to enjoy all of the encouraging stories in here. Okay, so the next series is really, really big. I mean, like, upwards of 2,000 pages big. However, this last year, my son read the Dragons in Our Midst series by Brian Davis and absolutely loved it. And he has been begging me to get the next part of the story. So this complete story is made up of 3 like separate series, and they're all interconnected. So the first one was Dragons in Our Midst. This one is Oracles of Fire, and then the third one is Children of the Bard, or Children for the Bard, Children of the Bard, something like that. And so this is the second series, and like I said, it's a very hefty series. This will take him like 2 to 3 months to get through. And so that's why I don't have like a ton of books for my son, because I know this is going to take him a long time. But I know he's really excited to read these. So the first one is called Eye of the Oracle. And the second one is called Enoch's Ghost. Number 3 is Last of the Nephilim. And number 4 is The Bones of Macchiatos. And so this one's like 670 pages long. This is a long book for a 6th grader, but he's been really interested in reading this, so I hope that will be good for him. If he is finished with all of those books and he wishes to read more, I have bought the Dreamkeeper Saga. There are 5 books in this series, and number 1 is called The Dragon and the Stone. I'm going to be reading these for me this year, and so I bought them, and hopefully my children will want to read them as well. The Prince and the Blight. Number 3 is called, no, that's not number 3. The number 3 is called Lost in the Caverns. Number 4 is The Quest for the Guardians. And number 5 is The Last Keeper. So that is the Dreamkeeper Saga. If he decides that he wants to add that in there, that is perfectly fine. Throughout the year, I also want my children to sprinkle in some of the Good and the Beautiful library books. And I have all levels, and so he's right here in between these 2 white books. You can't see his bookmark, but it's like sticking out. And so he'll just go to the next book, and he will read a few of those interspersed in his reading this year. Like maybe one standalone book in between all of the series, so he kind of breaks that up. So that's all that my 6th grader will be reading next year. I know he's going to enjoy the Oracles of Fire and the Spies book, and hopefully all of the other ones are a hit also. At the end of every year, I have my children do a review of all the books that they have read, and they rate them using a star system. So if you are interested in what my son thought of his assigned readers from last year, I will link that up here if you want to watch it and get some ideas for books that you can read with your son. So thank you so much for watching this video. The next video that I will be making are the assigned readers for my upcoming 4th grader. So I will see you in that video. Bye.